Today we're going to be talking about name changes and apparently how everybody else can choose whatever identity they want to be with nothing to back it up. But if we have actual proof, paperwork, whatever, to back up what we say that we are the real indigenous Americans, everybody's like, oh no, you black, you African American, whatever. So first they called us American, right? Which is like the only name given to us that actually makes some sense because it has a nationality, culture, ethnicity, and so on and so forth. Then they changed it to colored, which is extremely variable, extremely vague, could be any color of the rainbow. I don't know, you just colored. And then they decide, you know what, we're going to go from English to Spanish. We're just going to use a random Spanish word, negro. But we're going to say negro because we're English. We're going to pronounce it the English way. And then they said later on, you know what, never mind, we're just going to classify you guys as black. We're just going to call you that in English. And then later on they said, actually, you're African American, but we didn't call you that in the very beginning. We're not going to give you an explanation on why that is. We're just going to push this on you, and if you don't accept it, even though you have proof that you never came from Africa and your families and your descendants never came from Africa, then we're just going to say you're lying because we know everything, even though we come with no proof. Meanwhile, we're finding out from various books like this one that American Indians were actually classified as African, as you can see here, to strip them of their protections, right? So what they did was like, hey, we made laws to protect the Indians. Let's just classify certain groups of them as African so they don't get that. Even though it's not, let's just say that they are. We'll just write it in. We'll just blatantly lie. Who's going to stop us? And then we became colored and Negro and black and all that stuff later on. Oh, and some people who have been doing their, research into genealogical, paperwork and family records have actually found where their racial classifications of like their great-great-great-grandparents and so on had been changed, just crossed out and then changed into something else. From Indian to mulatto and so on and so forth. Somebody brought that out about Bass Reeves as well. That according to records, he was full-blown American Indian, but they changed his race to mulatto. Let's not forget about the $5 Indians who paid the equivalent of about $150 or so to get some Indian land, but no one's going to talk about them who literally just paid money to be called an Indian. And nobody wants to talk about the Asians who are coming over here who are just being classified as Native American just because they could. Because remember, they were allowing people to come in here without no visas, no paperwork or nothing. And if you looked Asian, you could classify yourself as a Native American, American Indian, whatever. But apparently we're lying, but all these other people, none of them are lying, huh?